Yeah, yeah, yeah. TG and Mika, they running the show. Talking Buckeye football, letting them know. OH. Buckeye ladies ring the victory bell. OH. Now go ahead and give them hell. Smart, bold, and ready, they know their ball. Scarlet and gray pride, they've got it all. OH. Buckeye ladies ring the victory bell. OH. Now go ahead and give them hell. Yeah.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Buckeye Ladies. I'm TG. This is my co-host, Mika. How you doing, girl?
Good. What up, everybody?
What up, everyone? Listen, for the show, we're going to talk about, obviously, the quick vibe checks and emotions around Ohio State. We're going to talk about scum. We're going to talk about all the breaking headlines regarding Ohio State and the temperature check of the Buckeyes, pretty much, obviously, of the Buckeye Nation. But what we're also going to talk about is some transporter news as well that has kicked off, because we've lost some more players to the portal, unfortunately.
Yep.
Especially one that I really, really liked. We're going to talk about all of that. So, Mika, how you been doing?
Doing okay. Disappointed, obviously, how the season ended. The slow start was very disappointing, and we just couldn't get it together there at the end. And I think the Brian Hartline situation had a lot to do with it, but I don't want to hear no mess about the bye week stuff because Indiana just lit up Alabama today and took care of business. So I don't want to hear nothing about bye week.
Oh, we're going to get into that a little later. We're going to get into that. Because first, I want to
Yeah.
talk about scum. Because apparently, with the whole Kyle Whittingham situation, because we didn't give a chance to discuss our opinions on that at all. So give me your opinion of Kyle Whittingham hire.
I hate that I don't hate it, if that makes sense. Like, I actually like Kyle Whittingham. Like, I hate that I don't hate it. I'm sure I will grow to hate him. It's just a natural instinct when they wear those nasty colors. It just brings out, I don't know, the instinct of hatred in me. I'm sure it will come, but I think he's the right man for the job. He fits what they want to do, I think, and I actually like the hire. I think he's the right man to ride that Titanic of a ship there.
Here's the thing. I don't hate the colors. I hate the team that wears them and makes them look ugly as heck. That's the funny thing. So I don't hate it that much. But, when it comes to Kyle Whittingham, I love Kyle Whittingham as a coach. I respect him as a coach. I hate the fact that he went to Michigan, though. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
really? The one hit? But at least, hey, he might actually end up making this game more respectable.
Yeah.
And Ryan Day would be not so much. Like, Ryan Day and I don't think any other coach in college football. Like, they hate the program, but they don't hate the coach. Like, nobody will hate Kyle Whittingham.
He will be a high character guy, and he won't tolerate all the mess that's been going on in the program for years. I respect Kyle Whittingham, and I think he's the right man for the job.
Oh, absolutely. So let's talk about some transporter news as well, because we got Jelani Thurman and Mags, as we talked about, had hit the portal. But now Bryce West has too, unfortunately. And
Yeah.
along with Lincoln, as we talked about earlier, Lincoln hit it earlier.
And
Now Bryce West.
And CJ Hicks.
Yeah, CJ Hicks hit the portal, which I was hoping he wouldn't do.
Yep. I thought you would stay. I hope that doesn't speak anything towards Matty P. I hope it doesn't.
I don't think it speaks to Matty P. I just think it speaks to Ohio State's inability to just evolve. Because here's the reality. I think CJ always wanted to play at the edge, but Ohio State would not let him, at least under Jim Knowles, and they wasted like 4 years, 4 years of this man's development. So I think he's look, I'm never gonna play here. So like, what would be the point of me staying? Like, I was really hoping he would stay because he showed promise early in the season. And they
I
never even played him in the playoffs either. I was like, you guys could have played him in some of these spots and probably would have let him. Like, I don't get this one.
no, Bryce West is transferring, not Isaiah West.
Bryce West, not Isaiah.
Bryce West is the corner from Glenville.
Yep, which is unfortunate.
I really hope that doesn't have a negative effect on Glenville recruiting because I really, really wish Bryce would stay. I hope he reconsiders because I think he's.
Oh, if I'm Ohio State, I'm begging him to reconsider. I'm like, no, you got to stay one more year. Like, we need you.
I think he's in for some more playing time because I get that Devin Sanchez was young, but he made a lot of mistakes, and I think Bryce could fit in with some more playing time next year if he decides to stay, and I hope he does.
Yeah, I hope he does too. I'm not gonna lie. I really need him to just stay, cause like we need the depth at corner, dude. You are the best option, especially if something were to happen to Lorenzo. And like with David Wilson, his eligibility has ended. Like he's not coming back for another year.
Yeah, I really think he could. Bryce West could fit in Zoe's spot immediately.
Oh yeah, like I think he could fit into that spot right away. Him and Aaron Scott Jr. I think the both of them would really be here.
Yeah,
I think the both of them would be really impactful. So I would say no, keep these guys now because it's like if you're Ohio State, you can't let these guys leave at all. You got to get them more playing time. Like they said, here's my thing for Ohio State: if you redshirt a player, they're redshirt freshmen. You got a second year with them to get them on the field experience. Why do you wait to give them the playing time? I don't get you with this.
yeah, especially with the 4-game rule, I don't get it at all. Like,
no, it's just after they get redshirted. It's like, okay, I can understand you only playing them for like maybe 3-4 games at that point, which they kind of do. But I'm talking about like after their redshirt season, they're redshirt freshmen and they have a chance to get playing time. So why are you not giving it to them? You're hurting their development, you insolent fools. What are you, stupid?
yeah, I mean, I don't understand it either. There was a lot of guys that I thought deserved more snaps. I thought Lincoln deserved more stats throughout the season. Like, we could have utilized his legs a lot more as a change of pace guy, especially since Julian, we didn't want to run Julian. Like, I felt like Lincoln could have gave us more there. I think Isaiah West could have worked in a little bit more. I think he's a good pass blocker. We just didn't utilize him in that capacity a lot. But yeah, like you said, with the redshirt rules the way they are, I don't understand why we're not teaching these guys and getting them more snaps when the opportunities present themselves.
Yeah, which we're gonna get into regarding the coaching staff because this is gonna be like if you guys listen to the breaking news show myself, Mika, and Eric did, we talked about it and we're gonna get into why we believe that why they need to start doing more with their analysts, a lot more. I'm just saying why, but we're gonna get into that very, very soon. So let's talk about more about the transfer portal. And then we're going to talk about DJ Jacobs' commitment, Larry Johnson's transition plan. We'll talk about that after the fact.
Yep.
But let's still talk about the transfer portal. Has there been any more people who've entered the portal?
Not that I've seen, but I don't normally watch and do the show at the same time, but
I mean, I keep looking and I keep seeing, okay, you do have new people who popped up every now and again, but now that so we have Jelani, Max, Lincoln, Bryce. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody else. CJ. I know it's CJ, but okay. So if these are the only 5 guys for Ohio State, you really like. If I'm Ohio State, I'm bet you CJ hits come back. I really would be because I'm like, we need your depth, we need your ability. Because I'm not gonna lie, you gonna need him back. I promise you are.
Bryce West too.
Of course, no, we just talked about Bryce. Like I know him, but it's like nobody new has come up yet.
No, not that I know of. Maybe Vader knows somebody, but I haven't seen anybody yet new.
All right. So now let's talk about the DJ Jacobs commitment. That was surprising.
I am super excited about this kid because he had he, he's very technically advanced with his hands. He's got a nasty swim move already, and Larry Johnson's gonna love working with him because he's already got tools in his toolbox that he's ready to go, and he's highly advanced when it comes to hand fighting and has a nasty first step. Like this dude's explosive.
Oh no! I mean, I've been very impressed with the Kia. I am super like when I wasn't even thinking about the commitment at the time, especially because I'm busy, kind of focused on everything else. But I heard at the time that it was you. When y'all heard that it was Miami and Georgia
Yeah,
and some other team, like Ohio State wouldn't even mention the top three, and then he just commits to Ohio State. And you're like,
Texas
everybody like
A&M
what?
too.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. There was a third team, and I was like, and that happened to be Texas A&M. So thank you. And I'm like, every Buckeye fan was like, how did we pull this off?
Yeah,
Like,
and even the parents were seemed surprised of it. His dad's a Georgia legacy, so well, hopefully, hopefully he sticks. He seemed really excited to be a Buckeye. He has visited on multiple occasions and seems to really like what we have to offer. So hopefully he sticks. His parents didn't seem that enthusiastic about the commitment, but I think Ryan Day and Larry can work him around a little bit. They got time to warm up to us. And
yeah,
his little brother is a high level defensive lineman as well, so keep an eye on him too. He's in the 2028 class. Like he's not as polished as his brother, but he's got time to develop and he's one to watch as well.
oh yeah. I mean, I think Ohio State is gonna offer his brother as well. Like if he continues to be if he continues to do what he does, and again, we kind of talked about it, Tyler, with Jelani, is he's basically another version, like the college version of Travis Kelsey. He ain't a great blocker, but he's an excellent pass catcher.
Which hurts me that he's leaving because I love Travis Kelsey and he's Travis Kelsey.
That's literally what he is. It's like, wait a minute, yo, Ohio State, use him like how the Kansas City Chiefs use Travis Kelsey. Kelsey can't block for nothing. but
It
but they still use him as a pass catcher, and they call him one of the greatest tight ends, if not the greatest tight end in all of NFL history, better than Rob Gronkowski, who's a better blocker than freaking Travis Kelsey. People
yeah,
actually think Travis Kelsey better than George Kittle, and George Kittle is a better all around tight end. So be smart about how you use your players.
yeah, and plus, I think we're going to have to utilize more pass catching tight ends because the way we recruited the position, we're recruiting guys that are pass catchers already that aren't very good blockers right now. And I think what we need to do is we have to have one guy on the field that's a good blocker and one guy on the field that's your pass catching threat. Sort of like what we did with back when Jeremy Rucker was with us and we had what was his name? Um Luke was it Farrell
Luke,
or
Luke Farrell, and Jeremy Ruckert.
yep. When we had those two guys, Luke was your blocking tight end and open things up blocking, and Jeremy was your pass catcher. We need to go back to utilizing those because that's what we're recruiting for.
I'm trying to figure out how did Ryan Day let that slip off his offense in a lot of ways, but
I
back
don't
to
I don't know. It blows my mind. I've been saying it all season. Like, why are we not? Why don't we do that? We got Clay, who has improved as a blocker. I'll give him his props. He has become a more well-rounded tight end and everything. I will give him his flowers. He deserves it. But like, he is clearly a better pass catcher than he is a blocker. And you got Kazmarek, who's a better blocker than he is a catcher. Like you utilize the different personnel that you have, the different skill sets that they offer you. Be multiple on offense, just like we are showing on defense at times. Like, you have the chess pieces, you have different skill sets, utilize them.
Absolutely. Now back to the and we'll dive deeper into that as well, but later on. But we will let's get back to the DJ commitment and Larry Johnson transition plan. Now, we all know that because DJ Jacobs, we already talked about it, that he's going to fit very well as a part of this defensive game plan because Ohio State would not be spending like look, the reason he had chose Ohio State, I think he's talking about coaching consistency was his biggest reason,
Head,
along with the culture and the winning culture here at Ohio State, and the one thing he ain't got to worry about is, well, you ain't got to worry about either going 6 feet in the ground at Georgia, and you ain't got to worry about going to prison either. So
specifically, he's very impressed with Ryan Day. He loves Ryan Day and his consistency and what he has to offer in terms of culture. And he even said that in his commitment. Like, he loves what Ryan Day's selling, and hats off to Ryan Day for being able to land this kid because he's a very high end kid, and I think he can contribute early on in his career because he's that special of a kid.
he absolutely is. And let's talk about what this means for Larry, because Larry is known for bringing D linemen in. I know for a fact that he's had some hits because of how people first of all, everybody be offering money to every recruit this guy get, which is big time money, and then they use his age against him like a bunch of a-holes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, so it does make it harder for him in a way, but it's like he lets these kids know, like, look, when I'm ready to retire, I will. But just because I retire from being a defensive being a D line coach, doesn't mean I'm done. Doesn't mean I'm done teaching D linemen. I just won't be full time in recruiting, I think is what it
Yep.
means, which we'll get into in a minute.
Yep. Larry's a legend, and I appreciate everything he's done for this program. That man deserves all the props he gets and more. Like, he's he's done so much, and just you hear his past players speak very highly of him. His current players, like, he genuinely cares about these kids, and you can see it. They care about him too, and I love that we're still landing high level kids like this. And to the people that use um, Larry Johnson's age against him, he's kicking butt. So leave him alone.
I
He's a
mean,
legend.
people tend to think that this man, because he's 72 and his cousin, like, we've seen coaches retire in their 70s, and it's like, you're aware those are head coaches who have to deal with a lot of stress versus a guy like Larry Johnson who's being a defensive line coach. Like,
And
that is
I've seen him break down stuff in camps. He certainly doesn't look 72 years old.
no, not at all. But we do, but that's what makes Larry Johnson, like, Larry Johnson's legacy at Ohio State. He is the greatest defensive line coach Ohio State's ever had. I don't care what anybody says. He's the greatest Ohio State's ever had.
Heck, he was the greatest Penn State ever had when he was at Penn State.
Right, like, they miss him, and like, even in high school, he was coaching high school football, and he was the best at it. Like, bro, if you look at every recruit that every team got under Larry Johnson's D lineman, bro, all his D linemen were freaking dudes, and these guys went on to the NFL and play like ball, dude.
And
So, like,
even
that tells you.
And even like the guys that go in the middle rounds end up having long term success in the NFL. Like, he doesn't just produce first rounders. He produces guys that stick in the NFL long term, like longevity in their careers. Like,
Yeah,
people
the
don't.
only time that anybody long term wouldn't last is if they suffer an injury. Like, multiple
Yeah,
injuries will be derailing a lot of guys' careers.
yeah, me too, Jeffrey. Me too. This is
Yeah.
this is therapy, buddy. We're
Oh
here for
yeah.
you.
Oh, trust me, we're gonna talk about the whole thing with Indiana, with Ohio State and Miami. We're gonna talk about it, but let's And again, I don't ever want to hear anything about because let's be real, us as Ohio State fans should not be using, because we did not allow Oregon to use that as an excuse, the bye week as an excuse. We did not allow them to use that as an excuse. I never will. I will never use the bye week as an excuse. It is all how the team feels not prepared. After all, you see teams in the NFL, the number 1 and number 2 teams that have bye weeks, longer weeks to prepare than any of these other teams. And do you see them coming out looking like garbage? No, they come out ready and prepared because they know better.
If you're looking to use that as an excuse, get out of the chat right now, because I'm not having it. It's not. That's not an excuse. We should have been ready, and we weren't.
Yeah. Or better yet, it's like for Ryan Day, he's basically saying that, look, we prepared for everything that could have went wrong, and it still went wrong. So it's one of them where it's like, it was almost like it was meant to happen for whatever reason. And we're getting to that in a minute. But
yeah, Andre, I took psychology classes in college. I'm good.
yeah, we good. That was kind of clever, Andre. I'm not gonna lie. But let's talk about Larry Johnson's transition plan. His role will be to become an instructor for for Ohio State, and I would believe it's for the defensive line. Now, what do you believe that's what it is? Like he's just gonna be an instructor for the D line and won't be very much involved in recruiting. Like he'll still talk to recruits, but he won't be going on the road in recruiting.
Yeah, like you said, I think he'll still talk to kids and be on campus and do film study and all that stuff, which is what attracts recruits to him. They gush about him, how he breaks down film with them and breaks down the game and stuff. And I think he's still going to do that, but we're just gonna have a guy step in and take over for the recruiting trail. And I'm hearing three names.
Yeah, Vader brought it up. Jason Taylor at Miami, which if you look at what he did with Miami's D-line, you're pretty much like, yep, this is why we want him. Even though, again, their D tackles weren't really good. It's just that our interior at times just...
Yeah.
And the edges definitely, like, our tackles couldn't hold their own for nothing for the most part.
Mesidor was impressive, though. He did impress me when we
no, that's the point, though. But this is why they say Jason Taylor, he's one. Clark, which
Leon
Clark is it? Leon Clark?
Leon Clark would be my choice because recruits
love
him.
Allen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I would bring him back because he is one of and he's Larry's disciple, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
So if I'm Ohio State, I'm bringing him back.
He would be my number one choice because he's familiar with what Larry wants to do. He's been here, and recruits gushed about him when he was here. And he has ties to photo recruiting grounds in LSU and Texas, and recruits gush about his ability to relate to them and break things down to where they can understand. He would be my number one choice.
And think about it too. He's 29 years old.
Yep.
He's so young.
He's got longevity written all over him, and it would be such a smooth.
And this would be the one young coach that, like Keenan Bailey. Keenan Bailey as a tight end coach, he was in his 20s when he first got, his late 20s when he got hired, and now he's in his 30s. It's like that was a very smart move by Ryan Day, which I gotta give him credit for that. But this bringing back Allen would be the smartest move that this coaching staff can make. I mean, he's young and he's familiar with Larry Johnson. He spent his entire time under Larry. He knows what Larry does.
Yeah, exactly. And he's very, very, very good at teaching technique and stuff. He's very technically sound. Larry himself has gushed about how good he is as a teacher and relating it to recruits and laying it out to where they can understand it and absorb it and apply it to the field. And I would love this hire if that's what we decide to do. Jason Taylor would be a good move as well, don't get me wrong, but I would go with Leigh Allen as my first choice because of his age and everything.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's definitely my first choice, but he's not. The third guy was what is his guy? Burgeon?
Yep.
What is the dude's full name? Because I've never heard of this coach.
I can't remember his first name, but I do like what he brings to the table. I think he coached at Virginia Tech as well, I think,
I knew I was looking for somebody like that.
and he he's very sound teacher, but I don't know. I think we would have to adjust our system if we brought him in, because he's a
I
little bit
mean,
he's a little bit more of a 3-4, I think, if I remember correctly.
Matt Patricia's run 3-4s like as if this man couldn't. I don't think this. I don't think that that would be a problem if we're being
Yeah,
honest.
but I don't know if he would mesh with Larry, because Larry's more of a 4-3 guy.
Yeah, that's true. So I would go with that one. So I'm gonna try to see. I'm gonna try to find the tweet that not the tweet, the thing that Vader had regarding it too. But so this way I can try to figure out his name because I knew I heard of his name from somewhere, but I couldn't remember where I found it at. But yeah, no, for Larry, I think that I would say that I would choose like Alan Clark.
Yep.
At the end of the day, like he's my
Um,
number one choice if I'm Ohio State. Like I'm bringing him back. I would tell him, tell Texas, say F you. You're coming back to this coaching staff whenever Ryan Day, whenever Larry Johnson decides to transition. Like he will transition, but he's going to make sure that they get the best development, of course.
all three of them bring something different to the table, and I would be happy with either one, but yeah, Leon would be my first choice.
Absolutely. So, all right. So, let's talk about how now this basically if how Ohio State can maintain its elite D line development post Larry Johnson. Again, if you get Lyle and Clark, that's how, or
Yep.
Jason Taylor, either one of the two. Get those two dudes. I think you can maintain the development moving forward.
Yeah,
And
and can and just I gotta get this off my chest. Can we get a field goal kicker, please?
55-yard field goal kicker. Wow.
I'm begging you, people. Like, we
I
need
saw that pop up and I'm like, bro, this like it's almost as if the universe is mocking us for not having a field. Cause some of these kickers, here's the funny thing, Ole Miss kicker ain't even all that, and yet this motherfucker made a freaking 55-yarder. What are we doing here?
salt in the wound. Salt in the wound.
And you know what's
Oh,
super funny? Is we got a kicker from Ball State who made a 52-yarder and a 55-yarder at one point himself. The kid from Ball State. Bring
oh,
him. Please let him play.
don't get me started. I done went off during the game doing it. I was so mad. So mad.
I swear, I'm like, look, special teams wasn't perfect, but they were finally starting to get somewhere. And
And
then this happened. I'm like, oh my god, you can't
and,
make this up.
and with Fielding, don't get me wrong, I would never do death threats. I wish him well and everything. I know he's not intentionally missing or anything like that, but come on. We need a better field goal kicker. We need consistency. I want Mike Nugent 2.0, man.
Here's what I will say: bring in Tim Williams to teach these guys how to kick and how to have the mentality, because that's where the real problem is. Some of these guys ain't got the mentality. Like I like if you watch the NFL, which I know a lot of people almost hate some of them, especially with the Chiefs, but I know everybody's celebrating because not ain't in the playoffs.
Yep.
But go look at the Dallas Cowboys kicker. That dude can make a freaking 60+ yard field goals. He almost made a 68-yarder at one point during Thanksgiving. He almost made a 68-yarder. He's like, here's my mindset. I'm going to make every kick. I don't care if it's from 7 yards. I'm making that kick. And that 68-yarder that he missed it by making it go left. If he kept it in the middle, it would have went straight through. I'm not lying to you. Give me a kicker with that kicker's mentality.
Yeah, that was impressive. Bringing a guy like that to teach it, get a NFL guy, get a better guy, someone that can fix this, because it needs to be fixed. It's a reoccurring problem, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't
Yeah.
be.
Don, the offensive line has depth. Is just the problem is they've regressed from
Yeah,
last year. That's the problem.
and,
The D
and
linemen aren't a problem either. Like these guys actually did play great all season, but this one game where they don't play good, it's because they did not expect Carson Beck to run. And
yep,
yes, you must get a backup QB. There's no doubt. Now, needing a kicker, absolutely. Like we need multiple kickers. I'm
and
sick and
that
tired of this.
and that comes with having a veteran quarterback. Like, hats off to Beck. Gave him a lot of crap. I know I did, but he took what our defense gave him and got the hard yards when they were there.
Yes, and this is what we're gonna get into now. Even though Mika, let me ask you this question before we even get fully into it. What is the expectation for fans versus the reality of the program regarding the whole Larry Johnson thing?
That expectation, I think, is that we're going to continue. I do think there's going to be an adjustment period once he does take a step back for players to get used to him taking a step back, but he's still going to be there. He's still going to teach it. Like, especially if you bring in Lay Allen Clark, I think it's going to be a good thing. It's going to be a
Mm-hmm.
smooth transition. Like, I think it's. And Ryan Day is going to make it as smooth as possible as he can be on that side of the ball. And just, I think we're going to keep everyone together and just keep doing what we're doing. And as long as we got a guy that's can teach it, I think we'll be in good shape. And
Oh yeah.
and like I said, Larry Johnson gushes about how well Lay Allen and Taylor can teach.
Which is kind of why let's get into the because now that we talked about that, and I'm gonna give you my opinion. I think that Ohio State. By the way, what up, Bart? Good to see you in the chat, my buddy.
There
Um,
you go.
but I will say this: I expect Ohio State. The expectation I think is for them to pretty much keep making good hires and just allow this team to continue being elite. Please do that. Don't make stupid hires like you did with Kerry Combs. Don't make stupid hires like you did with Parker Fleming. Just make the right hires.
I I still slightly skeptical on the new wide
Wide
receiver,
receiver coach.
but
I
I
mean,
am.
someone did come in here and say that he was a good receiver coach. It's just that because someone actually did bring this up, and even Lacey kind of brought this up. I think it was in the Toxic Mafia chat, which was Garrett Nussmeier wasn't really helping the receivers much.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, look, we can talk all we want about wide receivers, but the quarterback play can help the receivers in a lot of ways. Now, look, we had Kyle McCord, who's the worst quarterback we had in 15 to 20 years, but I can tell you that at Ohio State, he did better than Garrett Nussmeier did at freaking LSU because that was just terrible.
Yeah, and I do like his age and his familiarity with recruiting grounds. He's got ties to Texas, LSU, and Georgia, and areas of Tennessee as well. So that's going to be intriguing to see how he utilizes that, and see if we get some more Southern recruits as well.
I hope he can also still recruit in Miami because I want the Miami
Yeah,
wide receivers. I'm not gonna lie. If he can recruit down there as well, you sign me up as well. You could recruit in any part of the South as far as wide receivers. You're good in my book,
yeah.
but especially get them SFE kids.
There's there's so much high level recruits in Florida. You can throw a rock and hit a 5-star receiver in Florida. Yeah,
Yes, so
I I think we're still gonna be able to bring in guys from there. And like I said, he's relatively young, so I think he'll be relatable to guys. And I've gone back and watched him um read some tweets that some of his previous players had tweeted about him. They seem to really like his coaching style and stuff. I think he'll be a good fit, but I'll be anxious to see how he meshes with everything. And like I said, I think the quick announcement was to stabilize things now that it's official, the season's over, and Heartland is going elsewhere.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about these position coaches in a minute because it's actually gonna go right into what Don is talking about with saying, which we're gonna get into, which is the Miami game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so we all know we're disappointed with it. Let's just call it for what it is. Our team just flat out sucked. And you know what's super funny? We all say we came in prepared, but the thing is, what Ryan Day said was, no, we came in prepared and we had contingency plans, we had plays, and all this discussed to help our team not have to go through this stuff because we anticipated it.
They even went to see therapist people to deal with the bye week anticipation and stuff. Like it's not like
It just, and Ryan Day just said it just happened. Like the stuff that we prepared for still happened regardless. And they're like, wait, that kind of confused. Like, wait a minute, we prepared for this. What happened? And it's almost as if like we gotta ask because this is another thing with Ohio State. Every time we have a chance to go back to back, something stupid happens. And the thing that we talked about earlier was we believe that Brian Hartline's whole thing with USF might have thrown the team completely off balance from that point forward, which is what really ticks people off now.
Yeah. The timing of it, and I don't blame Heartline, I blame the NCAA calendar. Like the calendar needs to be fixed. Like the timing of it's just bad.
Oh, it's horrendous. It's like get rid of the freaking calendar of December. Make it spring so everybody has a chance to do something. God.
Yes. And like you said, have more coaches in place for when stuff like this happens. Have contingency plans for when stuff like this happens because when you have a successful program, you're going to lose coaches, and we need to be ready for when that happens.
Oh, no doubt. Which again, I'm gonna talk about my thinking of the structure as to how it should go. But let's now. The thing is with this Miami game again, I was like, if you guys know me as a fan, I was so ticked off.
Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't on the live show with you all because it would not have been family friendly.
At
No,
all.
I was not a very happy camper. You would have heard some very colorful language coming out of me, cause yeah, we would have to drop the family label, cause I was not happy.
Oh, none of us were. As a matter of fact, you and me both, actually.
Now, when we got in a rhythm, when we went tempo and got in a rhythm, we did show some sparks, but it just was too little too late, and it just wasn't enough. And hats off to guys like Sonny and K-Mac and stuff. They did everything they could to keep us in that game, and it just wasn't enough. And I hate it for him and guys like Caleb Downs because they gave everything they had, and we just couldn't get it going on offense. And I think it speaks to Sands' inexperience. Hats off to him though. He had a great season for as young as he is, but like he needs to learn to scramble and take what the defense gives him,
If Ryan Day left,
and Ryan Day needs to stop with the whole putting your quarterback in bubble wrap shit that he does because it's football. They're going to have to run. It just gives defenses something else to account for. It has to be part of our offense. There's
here's
no
the thing. Here's the thing I will say about this, because people are going to say, "Well, do you just want running quarterbacks who can't throw accurately?" And it's like, no.
no.
What we want, and this is what I want people to think about. Justin Fields of 2019. I bring it up all the time because Justin Fields was the perfect combination of a freaky athletic quarterback. Like, I'm gonna tell you this: him and Braxton Miller are the two freakiest athletic quarterbacks we've ever had in Ohio State. Now, again, Braxton has way better athleticism. He was much more freakier. But the thing that Justin had over him was the passing, because Justin was way more of an accurate passer. Justin's ability to do both, like, go back to 2019 and how many coaches kept talking about how going up against Ohio State was a pain in the ass. because you had to deal with Justin Fields' ability to
Well,
pick you apart in the pocket and to beat you with his legs. If you gave him the chance to run, he was going to take it. If you tried to take that away, he was going to cut you up with his arm. So you didn't have a choice. And not to mention, you couldn't bring that guy down for nothing. It was hard to bring him down. Now, again, saying ain't the size of freaking Justin Fields. Justin Fields is 6'3", 228. But, man, his ability to run was what made defenses hate going against Ohio State. And think about it. This 2019 was the year we had 3 1,000-yard receivers in the year. We're the only program to ever accomplish that. Master Teague had an 1,000-yard season. J.K. Dobbins 2,000-yard rushing season. And then you add Justin Fields' 3,000 plus, 3,200 and something plus. Like, he almost had 4,000 passing yards, but 3,200 and something passing yards, along with somewhere between 500 and 550 yards of rushing, and the amount of touchdowns he had off of all of those combined. That's what made defenses hate going against Ohio State at that point in time, because dealing with that was such a pain.
And I'm not asking for Olympic sprinters here. I'm just asking him to take what the defense gives him. When you have an opening, take it. Scramble. You have the ball. You have the ability to do it. Do it.
Here's my thing, too. It's like, we're not saying that Sam has to be as freaky as a Fields or even like CJ. Like, dude, look at CJ in the NFL.
That's what I just said. Do what Carson Beck did. Like, timely moments, timely first downs, lower the shoulder, run for it. I mean, I know Ryan Day doesn't want to get him hurt, but it's football, and I know he's smaller than our average quarterback, but
just here's the one thing you need to tell him: get out of balance or slide and don't take the hit. Go down. Just don't take the stupid hits. I mean, you're not as big as CJ, who's 6'3", 220-something pounds. You're not as big as Justin Fields. You're not as big as Dwayne Haskins or freaking Will Howard. You're not as big as those guys, but you can run, so just slide. Like, for instance, I mean, I hate the freaking Bears and I hate Caleb Williams, but man, I'm going to give the Bears this credit. You taught Caleb Williams how to freaking slide. And he's small. He's smaller than freaking Saiyan. He's like 6'1", 6 foot, 200 and something pounds. Like, nah, bro, he's about Saiyan size, if not smaller. He's shorter, but he's also like the same weight. So it's like, if Caleb Williams can do it, and I get it, Caleb's more of a freaky athlete, I get it. But if Caleb can do that, so can Saiyan. I'm sorry.
And if you're that worried about it, send him to a baseball coach. Teach him how to slide. People have done it. Stetson Bennett did it. Stetson Bennett went to a coach just to teach him how to slide back when he was at UGA.
Yeah, Tyler, because Tyler did point this out that Ryan Day did kind of play like that as a quarterback himself. Like, he ran and passed a lot, and I don't think he wants that for his quarterbacks, and he's more of a traditional pocket passer. But here's the reality that Ryan Day needs to understand. You're giving defenses a reason to just pin their ears back, because they're like, yo, quarterback. Like, the thing with Ohio State, again, you let Dwayne Haskins run at Ohio State when he was a pure pocket passer, but he ran the ball. Now, he was a big dude. He wasn't freakishly athletic, but he had athleticism to run, and you let him. You let Justin Fields. Now, Justin Fields said you didn't want him to do it, but he did it anyway because he didn't care, because he's like, this football, I'm finna get hit anyway.
Heck, like I said on a podcast earlier today, even Cardell Jones ran at times. Like, he did the rocker step. You have to account for it.
And he had an arm, too. Like, he was a pretty dang good passer.
Yes, you have to account for it. We're not asking for world beaters here. We're just asking him to take what the defense gives him.
Just run. Take what the defense gives you. Like, you had 10 yards to run in this Miami game. You had multiple running lanes, and you didn't take it. And again, I blame Ryan Day, because the problem with Day is, and Larry, don't ever put up another 50, because I swear to God, you finna tick off everybody when you keep bringing this up.
Yes, please don't. I can't, just, it hurts. Salt in the wound.
Like, just don't. But, man, because that sucks enough. But
Can
I hope that Ball State kicker can be the kicker we need.
can we entice Ole Miss's field goal kicker away from them, please? I'll chip in NIL money. Like, can we do that now, please?
Yeah, but no, for like, and Larry is like, yeah, no, like we're asking you to be a dual threat or just be a mobile quarterback. Like being a dual threat means you can do both, and you're able to like do it at an elite level. Being mobile is basically you having, meaning you're not like as athletic as a dual threat, but you have the mobility to make teams say, I got to pay attention to you more now. I like they still got to worry about you. Like you have the mobility to still move around, get out the pocket, run, get first downs. Like you might not be the athlete the dual threats are, but you're definitely mobile. So like I'm asking Sam to be a mobile quarterback. Like I said, I think it's Ryan Day putting the fear in his head, because here's my thing with Ryan Day. The way you coach these quarterbacks makes them afraid to get hit. So how you think they're gonna act when they getting pressured in the pocket?
Yeah, and especially at high leverage moments like during the Cotton Bowl, like you can't just expect them to just all of a sudden be comfortable with it when you've told them all year not to do it.
So he's got to get out of, as said before, he's got to get out of that. As a matter of fact, the best way he can do that is by just staying out of the quarter. Here's my thing. You can still teach these quarterbacks how to pass the ball in an elite level in the pocket. Because look, that's still required in college football and in the NFL. You still have to be able to pass in the pocket. You still have to be able to do that.
Absolutely. That's always going to be the most important aspect of being a quarterback, being able to deliver the ball. But like you have to have a certain amount of mobility. It's just the way the game has evolved now.
Oh yeah, and let's see the Twitch person in here, but and shout out to you, Mr. Twitch guy. Eric, at some point you gotta upload our videos and stuff on Twitch, dude, because our Twitch channel is not gonna grow unless you're uploading the videos and everything we do. Unless you upload it, it's not gonna grow any faster.
Oh, stop it, Tim. We did not.
We don't need Arch. Arch is good though. I'm gonna give him this. Like I knew he was gonna be good. I did not buy the whole hype about him, but I knew he'd be good. Julian Van is a better passer than him. Like Arch got a lot to work on with his passing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm still not sold on him mechanically. Like you family runs a passing academy. Your mechanics should not be as wonky as they are.
Oh no, they shouldn't. So we'll see what happens to him. I mean, he did get better this year. We'll see what happens next year.
Yes, he did.
But let's talk about this again. Like with Ryan Day, this is what you need to do. And again, this actually gets into what I want to talk about with the This gets into what I want to talk about regarding the coaching staff, because we talked about it earlier that you do need to have different coaches, because your coaches are going to get poached. Like what happened with Brian Hartline, this is going to keep happening to Ohio State. And if you're not prepared for it, you're pretty much setting yourself up for failure. So here's what Ryan Day needs to do. You need to have yourself this. When you have a quarterback coach, wide receiver coach, O-line coach, running back coach, tight end coach. Your leading coaches, as well as their assistants. Same with the defense. D-line, linebackers, defensive backs, corners, and safeties. You have assistants to them. Seriously, you do. You have assistants to them, right?
Yep.
What you need to do is have 4 coaches for each position. So you have 2 on the field and 2 up top in the box. I say this before, and I said it earlier. I've been saying it all this time. With the new coaching rules, this allows Ohio State to hire their coaching staff to be more like the NFL, where you can have your analyst coach and be basically your secondary coaching staff.
Yep. It should be like a conveyor belt, like what Saying did at Alabama. Like, we should have backups for our coaches and be prepared for stuff like this happens. Like,
and you already know your assistants for like the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, the head coach would be basically the associate head coach and the assistant head coach. Those are your assistants to them 3 positions. But the thing is, you need 4. So let me lay it out for you guys how kind of I drew it up as to what I think it should be, depending on the position. And I can give you details as to what I'm thinking as to why. So obviously we start with because obviously we already talked about the on the field coaches would be the main coaching staff, would be the head coach, the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, the QB coach, wide receiver coach, O-line coach, running back coach, tight end coach, D-line coach, linebackers coach, corners, and safeties coach. We all know that, right?
Yep.
So, those are me. What should it look like in the analyst booth? It should pretty much kind of look like the same thing, except it's different titles. And their job is to help your coaching staff make certain decisions. Especially for Ryan Day, you need this particular coaching staff, because this particular coach can help you get out of making a lot of stupid decisions. No offense, I ain't saying all the decisions you make are stupid, but it can help you get out of your own way sometimes. Like, you've learned from your mistakes and you become a better coach, but you keep making some mistakes that you need to fix. And then, look, it's gonna happen with coaches. It does. But this might be able to help you with decision making in a lot of senses, like what you need to do in certain aspects. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's start with who's gonna be what is it gonna be for the main head of the coaches up as the analyst? The head quality control coach. The head quality control coach is basically the head coach of all of the analysts, the head coach of the entire quality control station up in the box. That's what they is. So he's going to be in charge of that, and he's going to be able to help the head coach be a second pair of a head coach in the eyes for the head coach at the bottom of down on the field. That's basically what he's going to be. That's what he's going to be. He's going to help out the head coach in a lot of aspects. Then you have that offensive quality control coach, which will basically be the offensive coordinator's eye in the sky. Like what Josh Boyd is from Matt Patricia.
And similar to what we did with the offensive line coaches this year, we had multiple.
That's what I'm going to get to. I'm going to get to. Because Josh Boyd, to me, would already be the defensive quality control coach, because you're the eye in the sky for Matt Patricia. You know how to call plays for just in case something were to happen. And more importantly, you know the system. And you're the guy that Matt Patricia can trust to do that. Now, that's what you can do that's what you do vice versa with the offensive quality control coach.
Agreed.
Then you move to the other positions. Let's start with the offense. Quarterback quality control coach. This is a guy who's going to be up in the booth he's going to be the one also in the headset. You know how we see the headsets where the quarterbacks be talking up to the booth?
Yep.
That's what that can be used for as well. Like to help him process, like when he's on the iPad and he sees he's making a mistake, the quarterback quality control coach can help him out with certain things, as well as the offensive quality control coach. Like they can help him out regarding that stuff. And more importantly, these are going to be the main people. So when your assistant coach or your main wide receiver coach is busy with recruiting or some other work they need to do, then your quality control coach for the quarterback steps in to help coach this quarterback.
Just like when you have backups for players on the field, you need to have backups for the coaching staff. It should be next man up, just like for the players, man.
And that's what I'm getting to. You need wide receiver quality control coach. Someone who will be the backup to the assistant wide receiver coach, obviously, and be the backup, as we all know, to the main wide receiver coach, but someone who can help coach the receivers. And my thing is, for the quality control coaches, it needs to be guys who know how to do their jobs. I don't want it to be just anybody. These guys got to know how to do their jobs, period.
Have experience.
Exactly. They need to know how to coach these particular positions, especially if they have some kind of experience coaching it, regardless of how they done it, or if they've played the position and they, like, for instance, Brian Harline has never coached wide receivers until he got to Ohio State as an assistant wide receiver coach, then moved up to wide receiver coach as a first-time wide receiver coach. And you saw what the heck he did. This particular wide receiver coach, what you need to be able to do is teach these guys how to move at an NFL level in the same regard as the wide receiver coach, especially if the assistant and the main wide receiver coach is busy with recruiting.
Yeah, make sure the coaching staff needs to make sure they all teach it the same way.
Yes, that's the biggest thing.
Break it down and teach it the same way, like what offensive line coaches did.
Which was going to be my next thing. Offensive line quality control coach. Same pattern.
Players talked about how all three offensive line coaches taught it the exact same way, and that should be all throughout the coaching staff. We should have that. apply
Except
that.
they need to be able to teach it very well to a point where these players aren't making the same mistake. Because I
Yes.
will say, with the offensive line, it's like these guys kept making the same mistake. So it's like, no, you need these type of coaches not only can teach the same thing, but they can teach it better as well. Like teach these guys how to not make mistakes on a consistent
Yep.
basis.
Should be make it to where it's second nature to them.
Yep, and then it's the same with running back quality control coach, tight end quality control coach. Obviously, and then obviously you move to the defense. You have defensive line quality control coach, linebacker quality control coach, corner quality control coach, and safety quality control coach. What does that mean? Basically, you have the backups to the coaches. These are going to be the main guys who are also ended up helping you a lot.
Like I said, it needs to be like a conveyor belt, like a factory.
Yeah. But it's not just them, because like I said, you need to have 4, right? So what would be the next thing? Give them just analysts, regular analysts. Now, what would these analyst jobs be? They will basically be like the assistants to the quality control coaches. But their job will also be to break down film of opponents that they're going up against. What does that mean? That means that they're going to be studying the like for instance, the opposing, let's say this, the quarterback's analyst is going to be one I throw out there. So here's what I'm going to say. You have the head analyst, which would obviously be the main person in charge of the analyst group. He's going to be in charge of the analyst group. That don't mean he's the head coach or anything. Like, you're just in charge of the analyst group. You're pretty much like the assistant / associate coach, like how the assistant head coach and quality assistant and associate head coach are going to be the assistants, the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator and the head coach. That's basically what this is. You are an assistant to the head quality control coach. That's all you is. It's the same with the defensive analyst and the offensive analyst. What is that? What are these 3 positions going to be doing? Well, it's basically analyzing the offense and defense of opposing teams.
Breaking it down and making sure we're ready, breaking down film, preparing for the next opponent, getting players ready, getting the backups ready, keeping crap simple, basically.
Basically, because think about this. The head analyst is basically going to be the main person in charge, obviously, of the analysts, people that he's with. Like, he's obviously going to be the main one in charge here, of the analysts. But the offensive analyst and the defensive analyst and the head analyst, their main job is to break down the schemes of each team, of each opposing team Ohio State goes up against. That will be their job, is to break down the schemes and everything and how to counter that. When you talk about the other positions, such as QB analyst, wide receiver analyst, offensive line analyst, running back analyst, tight end analyst, their job is obviously going to be to break down the opposing defense. How the tight ends, quarterback, wide receivers, offensive line, running backs can attack these particular schemes as well. How they can read it, how they can adjust to it, how they can make moves depending on what the defense is showing you. It's basically teaching them individually how to read this stuff against defenses. And then vice versa for the defense. You have a defensive line analyst, a linebacker analyst, a cornerbacks analyst, a safety analyst. What is the job? You're going to be breaking down the offense for the defense. You're going to be basically doing the vice versa.
And the thing is, when you break it down into tiny little pieces like that, no one has too much on the plate. No one is overwhelmed, and it keeps it simple for these players to digest. And the faster we can comprehend our systems and what we want to run, the faster we're going to play. And that's only going to be better for us.
And that's why I said that, because, and not only that, but even so, you could also have this as well. Like, we have pass game coordinators, run game coordinators, and etc. Well, you can also have that as part of the analyst box. Now, we all know that we may want that title for our receivers coach and all that other stuff, but I would say put it with the analyst for this reason. Because they get a chance to break down the passing game and run game of each and every of these opposing teams as well. They get to break it down as well. They get to break it down as simply as possible for these players, and they get to make it as simple as well. Like, we may think it may sound like a lot, but it isn't, because they're just breaking down the fundamentals of opposing teams. It's the same. You have defensive pass game analysts and defensive run game analysts, which is what is it? Obviously, it's the vice versa of the offense, where the pass game coordinator and the run game coordinator. Their whole thing is breaking down the run defense and pass defense of these teams.
What
That's
does
gonna be the point.
what does
And
Grumpy
then,
Cat what does
hmm?
Grumpy Cat always say? Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, keep it simple, stupid. And it's vice versa for the defense, except you're doing it for the offense. And the point of this whole analyst group will be to bring it all together, try to form a plan, which is what the head analyst would do. Try to form a plan off of it, or something that jot down notes, show it to the quality control coaches, show it to the main coaches, the assistants, and the main wide receiver, and all the on the field coaches, and try to see if these coaches can come together and make a game plan against these teams and break it down in simple, stupid. Why? Because it gives these players a chance to learn different things. The point of what I'm doing, and look, there could be more analyst stuff they can add to it as well, right? There's more analyst stuff that they can add to it. Like, if they want to, they can add safety to it if they wanted to.
Yep.
Now, here's the thing, Tyler. The part that's frustrating because you're only allowed to have 10 accountable coaches, unlike the NFL. No, that's only for recruiting.
Yeah, that's only for recruiting, buddy.
That's only for recruiting. That's not for on the coaching staff. That's literally for only recruiting. Only recruiting. So, no, for Ohio State, you ain't got to worry about that. And think about it, too. What do you think would... And think about it. That would definitely help Ohio State recruiting now that we're talking about that. Think about what it would do for Ohio State recruiting. Showing that you got a coaching system that can teach these kids how to be NFL players. How to watch film. How to break it down. How to understand what the opposing team is doing on both sides of the ball. That would be the best thing to help Ohio State in recruiting, because no other team would have that.
And the thing is, we're already doing it. We just need to expand it.
We need to invest in it.
Yes.
That's what we need to do. We've already started investing in our support staff. How about we continue doing that? If we invest in this what I'm talking about, now I ain't saying it's all gonna work perfectly, because sometimes it's gonna go in disaster, but with Ohio State, I would expect it to go right if these people know their position. Because you're like, well, it may be too many cooks in the kitchen, and it's like, it depends on how you're breaking it down. Because the coaches will be again, the main coaches will be off recruiting. They can't be in the Woody all the time. They like having these analysts here coaching these players, keeping them ready when the time is right, and having the same mindset and the same thinking as the coaching staff, the main coaching staff, the assistants, and the main position coaches, and the offensive coordinator and head coach, the coordinators and head coach. It could all work out pretty fine if you have it organized. Like what I'm doing is organized.
Like I said, it's going to be like a conveyor belt. It's going to be like a factory. Just keep it going like an assembly line. It's got to run smoothly. You got to balance the different personalities, and it will take some time to, and you got to make sure you get the right people in there. But Lion Day's shown the promise to be able to bring in the right people to fit with the culture. So I think we can do this and get it done. And I really like the plan.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I really like the plan, and I agree it's something that needs to be done, and it's just going to make things simpler for the players, and the simpler it is for the players, the better we're going to play.
Yeah, and here's the thing, too. It's like, if you have all of that lined up and you're able to have these people be in the right positions, it won't be too many cooks in the kitchen. But this will be able to help the coaches, in a sense, be ready for, like, because we've seen it. Like, against Indiana, the coaching staff at Ohio State did not know what they were running, even though I've broken it down about Indiana's weaknesses that Ohio State could exploit. Even same with Miami. I got the notes right here. I got the notes, people. I showed you what their defense and offense was all about. I told you guys, Ohio State had the ability to take advantage of both Indiana and Miami's weaknesses on defense, especially. They had advantages. They just didn't take it for whatever reason, because they weren't focused, or better yet, no, like in Ohio State's case, they were ready for Miami, but some stuff just did not work out that way. Yep. And then for Indiana, you just weren't focused on them because of the whole Brian Hartline mess. And that's the thing. If you are able to be prepared, with the way I laid out this system, and someone could show this to Ryan Day. Who knows? Maybe, hey Vader, or whoever, more so Vader, tell your source within Ohio State about this kind of version of a plan that Ohio State can have about this coaching staff, because that realistically could work. You just need to hire the right people. That's all it comes down to. Hire the right people, and you got it. Like, for instance, for the offensive line, you got Tyler Bowen as the main offensive line coach, right? Well, then bring in LaCharles Bentley to help him out. Yep. Bring in Sam Pittman.
I've been begging him to bring in Bentley for years.
And Bentley wants to be a coach here. That's the best thing. If you're Ohio State, you ain't gotta bribe him or pay him a lot. Like, he wants to be here. He doesn't care. I will bring him in to be the assistant offensive line coach to Tyler Bowen. But I will also bring in Sam Pittman to be the offensive line quality control coach. As a matter of fact, this is a position, I think, when we're talking about Larry Johnson being the instructor, that's a position he could go to, the defensive line quality control coach.
I was going to say that, because there ain't nothing on the offensive line that Sam Pittman hasn't seen.
Like, think about it. This could really help him. And more importantly, it could probably help Tyler Bowen, because for Tyler Bowen, I think that's what it's all about as well. Like, you could probably learn some stuff from these two dudes, especially like LaCharles is the best offensive lineman Ohio State's had other than Orlando Pace. Him and Orlando Pace are two of the best. And the thing that LaCharles has over Orlando is he could play every position on the offensive line.
And LaCharles has already been doing his job funneling guys to Ohio State, so why not utilize him as a coach? He wants to be here. Like, I've been saying it for years. Let him come in and teach it, because he's already doing that now. He's already funneling kids your way, paying for it.
Right, like, he's willing to come in and do it. So, like, you look at the plan I put, and then on top of that, we want special teams to be better. We all talked about, like, maybe they should all do, like, a whole control, like, oh, this particular coach handles, handles kickoff, and this one handles returns, and this one handles blocks, pump blocks. And here's my thing. Just hire a special teams coach and hire one that knows how to do their job. Look, the NFL has a special teams coach who teaches these guys how to do kick returns, pump blocks, and kickoff, and field goal blocks. Get them to do that.
Just please, for the love of God, don't do Parker Fleming again, please. I can't handle it.
No, that's the only thing. Like, when we talked about, like, when people brought up how special teams coordinator didn't work for us, it's because we brought in Parker Fleming, who was a quarterback guy. That dude knows nothing about special teams. That was Ryan Day's biggest mistake. If you're going to hire a special teams coordinator, hire somebody that knows how to do special teams. Or if you want to, you can have one of your position coaches be a special teams coach, a.k.a. James Ornitis. Look at Iowa. Their tight ends coach is great at developing tight ends while also having elite special teams. Like, do that if you have to. And here's one more position I would add, kickers and punters coach. I would hire Tim Williams specifically to coach our kickers and our punters, because these guys need to be.
That would be a great move.
Absolutely. That's the move. Because guess what? You can have elite punters and kickers and start getting them out of recruiting, and you can pretty much keep getting these guys just to keep going. And you can start funneling more to the NFL on top of that. So if you're Ohio State, and I get it too, because like, with how many coaches I'm talking about you probably should bring in, it sounds like it's a lot of money. There's a way to allocate that money.
And plus, I believe he also does work over in Australia during the off season, working with those guys. So Tim Williams would be a great add if we were to add him.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'd be able to fix a lot of things with, like, we talk about a punting game. Like, here's the funny thing. McLarty got the leg. He's just inconsistent, and his release is slow. That's his problem. Tim Williams can fix that. We talk about Jaden Fielding's kicking. I bet you that freaking Tim Williams can fix that man's kicking and fix his mindset. More importantly, I think he can keep us having elite kickers and punters coming out of Ohio State moving forward. So we ain't worried about this 24/7. Like, again, there is a way to allocate money to these guys where you don't have to worry about going into debt, because we do got NIL we need to worry about. And obviously we're already paying our coaching staff a lot. But I think that if you structure the salary, and there is a way for you to structure the salary where all evens out and you're not paying out a whole bunch of money. The thing is, the head coach, the offensive coordinator, and the defensive coordinator may need to take a couple of salary bumps down. Not a lot, just a couple.
And I think they would be willing to do that. I think Ryan Day would be willing to do that.
That actually would be the great thing, actually, is for Ohio State, because guess what? You get to pay your coaches at a high rate still, but you're pretty much telling them, look, if we're going to build an elite program, an elite coaching staff, if we're going to do this, we got to allocate, because we need to make sure that we got enough NIL money for the players, because these players do deserve it, whether we all believe it or not. They
Yep.
do deserve it because they're the ones on the field. But we need to make sure we're giving these guys the best coaching. And more importantly, like I said, you have guys transferring because they're not sure if these coaches are going to stick around. I mean, that's what people use against Larry Johnson all the time. And if you think about it, if you have that put in place,
You
I
don't have
think,
to worry about it anymore. That
right.
becomes a moot point. They can't use that against you anymore on the recruiting trail because you can say, hey, I might not be here, but the guy behind me will have you ready.
Well, Tyler, that's why he needs to do this the system that I'm talking about regarding coaching structure. The coaching structure that I have regarding this can actually help the backups get developed. It actually could. Like, it's something that really could work if he allocates it right.
Yep.
And like, seriously, I love the coaching structure that's set up right here. Like, you got something with these guys that works. And Mika, do you know how Tavia Sinclair is developing?
I think he's coming along. I mean, he's still obviously got some work to do and stuff, but I think he'll be ready. Like I really do hope they nurture his running ability because he does have that aspect to his game. He's a
And
true.
think about it too. Look at this. His If you look at who he's compared to, his running ability is compared to that of a Justin Fields. His
Yep.
passing ability is compared to that of CJ Stroud. And when you look at his high school tape, you can see why, because he does kind of look like it. Now, obviously, like, I know a lot of people are going to be thinking like, what competition did he play against or whatever. I get that, but at the
Yep.
end of the day, it's like you can see the comparison that's there, and it's like I would nurture that if I'm Ohio State. Why?
Yep.
Because we need that.
Yeah. Don't take that out of his game because he is a special combo of skills. He's got the arm and he's got the legs. Very powerful low body and will fight for yards. Like I love this kid and I hope we don't take that out of his game because he's a special athlete.
I mean, like, I can understand why JJ wouldn't be happy with how he's played these last two games, but at the same time, it's like the distraction of Brian Hartline, I think, really played a role in this one, and it really threw Ohio State off in all senses. Like, they did everything right, but things just still, like, they prepared the right way, but still, everything still went wrong. So, like, it's
I,
one of those
I
where it's
mean,
like,
I mean, can you blame JJ for being unhappy though? Like,
no, I
honestly,
don't blame him. No, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't blame him for being unhappy because he should be. Like, the way this team just played is embarrassing, especially with the fact that now he's got to deal with these Miami fans talking mess, which, look, they
especially
got every
when
right to.
especially when you play fast, when you practice fast but play slow, that's got to be frustrating. When
Yeah,
you when you can see that you have all you need to win the game and it's right in front of you and you just can't get to
But
it.
Tyler, this is what I'm talking about. Like, he could, like, this is what I'm talking about. This is why he needs to remove himself from the quarterbacks entirely. Because it's like, dude, if you're not going to let them run, you're basically just hurting the Ohio State offense. Now, you let Will Howard do it. Now, here's my thing. I want you to keep teaching them, or have your quarterback coaches, all four of them, teach them how you teach them as far as pocket passing. Keep that with them. Keep that
Exactly.
with them. Have your quarterback coaches handle that. Like, tell them, like, if you have to, teach your quarterback coaches how you develop your quarterbacks from a pocket passing standpoint. Now, what they do with them as far as a running standpoint, leave that to the quarterback coaches.
Keep the pocket passing standpoint from Ryan Day's perspective, but have a guy
Yes.
come in and teach the running side of it.
Like, for instance,
Teach
if you want to bring in a guy who can keep the Ryan Day passing prospect, Trey Holtz.
that's a great idea.
Trey Holtz will be the guy I bring in to be a head quality, well, not a quarterback quality control coach, or better yet, the assistant quarterback. If anything, why would I say that? Because he knows Ryan Day. Like what people tend to forget is Billy Fessler and Trey Holtz are the right and left hand men of Ryan Day. They are his best friends, and Trey Holtz has been great where he's been. I mean, no doubt about it. Like he's gone on and made himself a coaching career, and he's familiar with how Ryan Day coaches quarterbacks because he's been with him all these years.
I think that's just a rumor, Don. I hope to goodness that's just a rumor because I know emotions are running high right now, but hopefully we can
Yeah,
get.
I think they're just rumors. I don't think JJ would do that. I really don't. I can understand why people would think that because with Brian Hartline leaving and then how this offense played, and you're not sure who the offensive coordinator is going to be. I get that, but
Especially
go ahead.
especially since he pushed Chris Henry to commit to keep his commitment to Ohio State. I think he
Oh yeah.
stays, but I know emotions are running high right now, and I think coaches will get in there and talk to him and bring some stuff down. Like, and understandable. It's understandable for emotions to run high for them. If this is what we feel like as fans and as people covering the team, it's got to be 10 times worse for these players because
Oh, it is because they're expecting better. Now, again, for the players, here's the thing: your play on the field matters too. Because let's be real, these coaches did practice all this with you, and you still went out there and played like dog crap. So
they'll
some of
grab
that's also on you. Some of that's still on you because some of y'all really did not go out there and execute like you should. The only
Yep.
one, like I said, I'm not gonna blame JJ because, like I said, JJ in the Indiana game and in the freaking Miami game had himself an amazing game. Like this dude had 144 and 150 yards in both games. He had one touchdown, and he had like seven. He had seven receptions in the seven receptions in the Miami game, 8% in the Indiana game. So there should have been more there. And here's the funny thing: it's like who and we could talk about the coaching analysts regarding all the positions I mentioned. Is who do you think would fit into those positions that I mentioned? Now we already talked about for the offensive line who would fit there. Now who would be the offensive line analyst? I think it would still be the Oklahoma State guy who's still here because
Yep.
he's still here. So I would make him the analyst just for that. But so since we know the offensive line coaching staff as far as who the four coaches would be for that, who do we think the four coaches would be for the other positions?
Huh. For the defensive line, I would go. Well, obviously, you bring in Lay Allen, and then I would
Larry Johnson at defensive defensive quality control coach, obviously. Who would be the
obviously.
assistant?
Um, if you could swing it, I'd like us to bring in the I forget his name. Shoot.
What who tell me where you thinking of him from?
Uh, I think he does work for Georgia right now.
I know who you're talking about. The D line coach at Georgia, right? Or somebody like the assistant D line coach at Georgia.
Yeah,
All right, like
I forget his name.
all right. I would say this, and I would say for the defensive line and coach and analyst, I should say, the defensive line and analyst, bring in Pepper Johnson.
That would be a good one too.
That to me was who I think I would bring in because I think it would work.
Yep.
So who would you have for a linebacker? Obviously,
Pepper Johnson would be a good move. For linebacker, I would honestly see if AJ Hawk would be interested.
I was thinking Ryan Shazier.
That would be a good move too. But I think AJ has shown past interest in coaching, and he's talked to Bobby about it too. So that would be a tree that I would
Oh,
buck
you know
under.
what? You know what? I would make him the assistant to Larry Johnson. I mean, not Larry Johnson, to James Laurinaitis. Because sometimes I get JL and LJ confused.
Yep.
But I would make him the assistant. I would make AJ Hawk the assistant to James Arnaitis, especially because these two know each other and they both played on the same team and they were both absolute freaks. So why not?
Yeah, and
Uh,
already got a guy like Schlegel that comes in every now and then and helps with strength and conditioning as well. So utilize him that way as well.
yeah, I would bring in Ryan Shazier to be the defensive to be the I would use him to be the quality control coach for the linebackers. That's what I bring him in for. And who you think should be the D line analyst?
Hmm. I'll have to think about that one.
Yeah, so anybody who can think of a name. By the way, Trey Scott is the name I think of. Wait, no, hold on. It's Jimmy Barmaham, whatever his name is. His last name is Barmabog or Birnbog, whatever the last name is the assistant D line coach for Georgia.
Yep, that was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, so okay, so he could be the one you bring in. All right. For the assistant to Alan
I
Clark.
would,
So
I would love Ted Ginn Jr. as a quality control coach. Everyone knows how much a big Teddy Ginn Jr. fan I am. Like,
yeah, but here's the problem. He's the head coach of the
yeah,
Aviators, so unless he gets fired, that ain't gonna happen. Like now, I will say this for linebackers. Man, that would be tough because I think there's a lot you could choose from. I would have to go back and try to finalize that one for me, but I think I would probably try to pick someone who has experience, like someone who's a little older but still young enough to coach that can,
like I
you know.
said, AJ Hawk would be a good move. I think, in my opinion.
I would make him the assistant. I'm talking about the
Yeah,
linebacker analyst. Like who would be the linebacker analyst? Like he'd be the assistant to the line.
Shazier or Schlegel, or maybe you get a guy like oh, what was his name? Um, Sweat.
Sweat. Okay, so I would bring in Sweat to be the linebacker analyst, Shazier to be the linebacker quality control coach. Now for receivers, since friggin' because I know I was gonna go straight defensive backs with the corners and the safeties, but let me go to receiver real quick.
Not
And
Sweat. Simon. I mean, sorry.
yeah, okay, that could be your analyst for the linebackers. Now let's do receiver real quick. Now receiver coach, we already have him, and Devin Jordan is still going to be the assistant. There ain't no doubt about that one. So you already got those two in place. Who would be your wide receiver quality control coach, and who would be your wide receiver analyst?
I would love to get Santonio Holmes in there anyway. We could get him. Like, that would be a great get.
San
But
Antonio Holmes was my quality control coach for wide receivers.
yep.
Here's the funny thing. For the quarterbacks, let's do it like this. I'm gonna do the quarterbacks in a minute, Dom. I'm gonna tell you in a minute. Now, for wide receiver analyst, I would bring in Chris Carter,
Yep.
or 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 I would bring in David Boston. One of them two.
Or a guy like Dane Sandenbach.
One of them. Any one of them.
He's
Now
a
for the yeah,
he's
go
sim
ahead.
he's similar to Heartline and has a similar philosophy, and he's uh recently gotten into coaching. I think so. He
Yeah,
would.
so he would be one I would look out for from Ohio State for sure. It's
Yep.
definitely. Now for quarterbacks, since we're doing offense and we did two on offense, two on defense, so we're gonna do two on offense, two on defense each. So for quarterback, I would say, as we all know, Billy Fesser to me is the obvious quarterback coach. His assistant should be Trey Holtz, in my opinion, no doubt about it. JT Barrett will not be the offensive quality control coach because the offensive quality control coach needs to know how to call plays. JT Barrett cannot do that.
Yep.
He cannot do that. So he would be the quarterback quality control coach for me.
I would bring Kenny G back in some capacity as well.
I would bring him back as the quarterback analyst.
Yep.
Those would be my four right there for quarterbacks. Now, let's talk about cornerbacks. Who would be your quality? Who would be the assistant to Tim Walton? Who would be his quality control coach, as well as his cornerback analyst?
Um. Hmm. That's a good one. There's a lot of options here. Um.
Here's what I tell you: who I think should be his assistant.
Okay.
Chill Brown from Ohio State. The second Corey Brown that we had that was a part of this
You
team.
mean Pitt?
Yeah, Pitt Brown, whatever. I keep thinking Chill because that's what I see every time I type in. When I say the other Corey Brown that played corner, I see Chill, and I'm like Chill or Pitt, and I don't know which one it is. But Pitt Brown is the one I would say to make him his because he did play corner. He was really good at it, so he would be my assistant.
What Chimney check what?
Chimney check what?
Yep.
As a matter of fact, he could be the quality control coach for the corners.
Yep. Because he's very good at analyzing film and breaking it down. He
So
did a
yeah,
he did a segment on Bobby Carpenter's show where he broke down some stuff and he impressed me. So I would
well, you know what? That would make him either the quality control coach or the analyst for either one. Or
I would give Chimney a call there, or Malcolm Jenkins, like Tyler said.
yeah, Malcolm Jenkins. Oh, that is a good one. Malcolm Jenkins. Wait a minute. Malcolm Jenkins. Didn't he play wide receiver?
I think he meant at wide receiver.
Oh, well, actually, I was thinking about maybe Malcolm Jenkins in as a tight ends coach to help with the receivers, to help the tight ends out.
That'd be good. Oh, Beanie would be good for running backs. That'd be awesome. Or Carlos Hyde.
Him or Carlos, yeah. As a matter of fact, I was actually thinking about that too because I was thinking that we could bring in because here's the thing. I would say for the running backs, assistant coach, I think Beanie Wells would be a good one for that. And
Yeah.
I would bring in if Carlos Hyde is done playing, he would be the running back quality control coach. And then I would bring in Pepe Pearson as the analyst for the running backs.
Oh, that's a great move. I love Pepe.
That would be the one I do for running backs. Now, again, so for corners, we already know. So we already got the running backs out of the way. So for corners, I would say that you have the three. We would just need a fourth one because,
Yeah. I'll have to think about that for a little bit. There's a lot of options there.
Oh, wow. He played safety. I swear to God, I looked somewhere. I guess I'm confusing him with another Michael because there was like multiple Michaels here at Ohio State. So he played safety, corner and safety. So I would bring him in as the assistant safeties coach to Matty G.
Or you could do like what's his name? C. Grant or Joshua Perry for linebackers as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think you can do. Even though I think Joshua Perry, I think he's enjoying his time being a guy on TV right now. Like I think he's enjoying being a commentator. So I would really just keep it like the linebackers that we already named for them. But yeah, no. So for Malcolm Jenkins would be the assistant safeties coach to Matty P. And then, like I said, I just need an analyst to finish out the corners, but we could pick whoever from there. But also for the safeties, I would go with Perry Eliano for quality control coach for the safeties because we got rid of him because Jim Knowles, and I don't think Ohio State ever wanted to get rid of him, so he'd be the one I get.
Would Perry be willing to?
I mean, if you're Ohio State, you basically apologize to him and say, "Look, we didn't want to get rid of you. We wanted to keep you, but you didn't fit with Knowles. But now that we got Matt Patricia, you fit pretty well with his defense, so we'll be able to like kick you up with our safeties, and you could just go from there."
I agree with that, but I don't know if he'd be willing to.
I think he would if Ohio State really makes it up to him. I think Ohio State can do it, especially with Knowles not being here. And Matt Patricia is someone that Perry Aliano, I think, would like and get along with. And if I had to choose who I wanted to be like the safety analyst, to be quite honest, I kind of would want to steal from the Legion of Boom or somebody from Matty Peachtree.
Yep.
Like those to me would be the perfect cornerback and safety analyst would be guys from the Legion, would be like the defensive corner and safety coaches of the Legion of Boom or the New England Patriots. And to be honest, I kind of want to go with the Legion of Boom because that defense, their secondary is ridiculous.
Yep.
So I'll probably go try to see if them guys are anywhere around, if I can find any of them.
Back in the day, they were awesome. That'd be great.
Oh, man. Yeah, so that's why I would probably go with those guys, any one of them, to be the analyst to go along with the corners and safeties. Offensive line, we already went through running backs. And like I said, so for tight ends, we only got like one more. So I would actually – so who do you think should be for the tight ends?
I would bring in what was it? Oh shoot. Um, Stoneburner, I think, is in coaching now.
Stoneberger is a good one. He's another one for sure. I mean, well, I mean, if Richard Sherman was interested in coaching, but I don't know if he is, Cam Chancellor would be a good one. But I was talking about the coaches who coach those guys. But if those guys would be in the coaching, then that would be good to me. No, no
Yep.
ifs, ands. I would not complain about that. If they're in the coaching, I don't know if Richard Sherman is into that,
No,
especially.
I,
I don't think he's into coaching. Cam Chancellor, I could probably see, but everybody else, nah. Richard Sherman, no. Like I don't see that. Um, for tight ends, like one person I would think of, even though I don't think he would want to, would be Evan Spencer because of how great of a blocker he is and how good of a pass catcher he was.
yep.
Like
But
he would be the perfect, but I don't know if he want to be a part of coaching because I don't know if he have any interest.
I don't know what he's doing now. Actually,
Yeah. So if I'm being honest, if I'm Ohio State, I really would try to find me. Stoneberger would be the assistant to Keenan Bailey, and I
Stone,
would say my yeah, Stoneberger would be the assistant to Keenan Bailey, and I would if I had to say who I want the analysts to be, I think I would want it to be two former Buckeye receivers who were also excellent blockers. Like, how good was Philly Brown as a blocker?
yeah, that's true. He'd be a good one. And um um uh, what was his not not
Because
Devin?
Philly Brown to me would be an excellent tight ends quality control coach. Because I think he was a great blocker when he was a great blocker when he was here at Ohio State. Like he was great at blocking, and I think he would also be really really good at teaching these guys how to be excellent pass catchers, like how to do both. Like he'd be able to help
Yep.
these guys out in a lot of ways. So I think he'd be a good one. And I'd say let's see who could be the analyst for the tight ends.
I think KJ Hill would be an intriguing option there as well, because he was a very physical receiver and excelled in making contested catches. So he would work with
Yeah,
receivers or tight ends either way. I think.
yeah, so if because somebody had mentioned putting someone else in the place of because who is the name you said, Mika, that we could put with the wide receivers other than just Chris Carter and David Boston? Who's the other two? Who's
I
the other
said
one?
I said Dane Sanzenbacher.
Dane Sanzenbacher would be a good one to place with the tight ends as well, though. Him or Chris Carter could go with the tight ends to teach these guys. I would really want Chris Carter with the wide receivers because he is, again, this guy's NFL career. This dude is a top 3 NFL great wide receiver. Like I would really want him, especially because recruits would be blushing over him.
No
So
Brown's no Brown's still in the NFL. I think
he's
Tyler.
Tyler. He's still in the NFL. Joey Galloway is another one. Yeah, I mean, any one of these guys would be great for the tight ends, in my opinion. So, like, Joey Galloway and Sansabacher, I think you bring those two in for the tight ends. I would say the tight end room would go really stupid. Same with Philly Brown. I mean, you can even bring him in for the wide receivers. Or, and I would say this, like, the only other thing we have is defensive pass game coordinator, defensive run game coordinator, and pass game coordinator for the offensive run game coordinator for the offense as well. Like, if I had to pick, like, run game coordinator, I probably would go with Tom Herman.
Yeah, but I don't think we want Tom back.
Hey, look, I don't think he's gonna be causing any stupidness at Ohio State if he knows any better. But but we could pick whoever. I think, like I said, I would want it to be like an experienced coach, someone who has like experience regarding all these with pass game and coordinating and all that. That's what I want. AJ, he's going to be coaching in the UFL. Like unless that team absolutely sucks and he gets fired.
I
then-
know, I know. I wanted to, Andre. I wanted to. My little football nerd heart wants it just as badly as you do, but it's just he's on to the UFL and wish him well. I hope we get to covering that team because that's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, I hope he actually gets a lot of former Buckeyes on that team because you got KJ Brown, Austin Mack, and all them.
I, I've
Deserves no
already,
chance.
I've already ordered my aviator gear, man. I'm all geared up.
Yeah, so let's go for the Aviators. But yeah, no, I think I think we got a great coaching staff. Like if you have that all put together with these coaching staffs, I think you pretty much have an excellent coaching staff. And the best part is a lot of them are former Buckeyes, so they know the culture. They want this to be great.
Yep.
That'd be the
That's
great plus.
that's the thing. I like when we bring in former Buckeyes because that just they want the best for the program because they were part of the program and helped build it, and they want to see it get bigger and better. And I think these are good ideas. I like a lot of our plans here.
Yeah, so that's what I would do if I'm Ohio State. Like that's just a great way of how you can fill out the analyst coaching staff
Lion Day
because we
needs
already.
Lion
I'm
Day needs to take notes. Someone, Vader, you need to show this to your contacts. Hook us up, man.
Yeah, because it's like I think that would be a great way to keep the team in balance, and more importantly, like I said, everybody's got a role they can play. And look, I know a lot of people would be afraid, like when you have too many cooks in the kitchen. Yeah, you would be afraid of that, but all these guys have a role. Like the analyst role would be to break down film and break it down to the players. It's like singly, like what you see them do in the rooms, essentially. Like this is what you're gonna
And,
have, and they
and
get to even show it to the coaches of each and every one of the ones above them. So like there's a rank for each and how these guys do their jobs, especially because, like I said, our current coaches are on the field coaches. They're mostly going to be busy with recruiting. So why
and
not have a secondary coaching staff that can make sure everything goes good?
and like you said, when you have success on the field, you coaches will get poached. So we have to have plans in place so we're ready when that happens, and we don't have to worry about taking a step back. And it allows more teachers to break this down and make it simpler for the players too. So I
Oh
love the.
yeah, and then the one thing we did, like, who do you think should be the offensive coordinator for Ohio State? Who do you think it will be?
I want more head just from a longevity standpoint, but I think they're gonna go with the ball.
DeBoer, yeah, DeBoer or Moorhead is for me. I know there was another offensive coordinator that popped in my head, but I forgot his goddamn name. So, we'll try to see if we can remember. But oh, you know who else I could have brought in for wide receivers as well? Ross Douglas at Oregon.
That's
I
true.
forgot. Like he was another one we all forgot about,
But,
but there's so many you can
but
do. But
he's ended up going to Kentucky with Stein.
oh, I would have. I also. Oh, you know what? You also could hire him for pass game coordinator since he's been in that role before himself. So that's
That's
another thing. But I figured like but that's what I'm talking about right there. And then like for now, assistant head coach and associate head coach are basically the assistants to these very coaches. So like if I had to take who a guess, I would actually look at the associate head coaching role and the assistant head coaching role, depending on who you make it for each side of the ball. Like for instance, I think it could be a development for, like, say, a guy like Keenan Bailey, who you want to be an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator. Like, have them be like the associate head coach, and or same with Tim Walton. Like, you have them be co DCs, co OCs, but also have them be like your associate and assistant head coach if you want.
agreed, Coconut. I love Schlags. I love his intensity.
And look, we bring him in for we bring him in for the the strength and conditioning program. So that's what really
Yeah,
would help in
he
all
al-
honesty.
he already does that at times. So why not bring him in as more of a coaching capacity and quality control and stuff? So that would be awesome.
Josh McDaniels for OC. Like, yeah, I don't see that happening because he's in New England
Yeah,
with he's in New England with you know
he's not. He's
with
not.
Brabos, so he ain't leaving. Like, I think
He's
if Ohio State had hired him before him, maybe. But like and plus, I don't think Ohio State's gonna want to do that because they're gonna want to keep Ryan Day here at all times. So no.
And and I don't know if Ryan Day would be willing to do this, but I think he could coach it. And but he is a father of a current player, so I don't know if Ryan Day would be willing to do this. But I think Duke Pettigrew would be a someone to get a look at the linebacker coach.
Along with
But
his son now.
yeah, that would be the only hang up from that standpoint.
Yeah. Yeah, Garrett Riley. That's another one. Depending on if he has he even left Clemson, like I would say he would be a good hire for Ohio State if I was him.
I don't think he's leaving Clemson though.
He should.
He should, but I don't think he is.
Yeah, but he would be a great hire nonetheless. let's see here. Now let's clear our heads and look through everything moving forward. So like obviously our thoughts. Now let's get our thoughts on the rivalry landscape and everything. Our takeaways from everything. If I had to tell you what I was thinking, it's like I said, Clay Kovnick as offensive coordinator. I don't know.
I'm not sold on it, but
I'm not sold on that. I'm not sure about that. But I'm not sure about that at all. But I would say that my thoughts are for Ohio State. Like I said, I put together a pretty well kind of organized plan. I did kind of make it kind of a little messy in a way. I'm gonna try to make it neater on like a different like on a typo or something. But yeah, no, like I think if Ohio State does with their coaching staff what I believe they should do, because like I said, with this coaching rule, you got an advantage that you should be using. Like if you're Ohio State, you don't want to play fair. Like if you use this, and look, maybe other teams might try to replicate it, but the problem is they have to know how the system works for it to be successful. And if Ohio State does it as I've described, they would be super successful at it more than any other team in the country. And they will continue to be successful and elite for years to come because now, and not only that, but here's what I will say as well. The biggest thing you need to do is make a replacement list. Have a list for every single position on your coaching staff because let's be realistic, what I'm saying we do with the analyst coaching staff, don't be surprised if you start having teams trying to pick them off too.
And with Ryan Day already having NFL experience, we already got a leg up on that front, making it more like an NFL coaching staff as well. So,
oh, they're part of the Mike Shanahan coaching too. Okay, I mean, if they're part of Shanahan, I'm not gonna lie, Shanahan is a great coach. The Shanahans are great coaches. They are, so I'm not mad at that.
yeah, but usually when guys are already successful in the NFL, they stay in the NFL because they don't have to deal with recruiting and all that stuff. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
because Kyle Shanahan and them, they have some really good Which I mean, if you want to get another offensive coordinator, like I don't know how long Mike Daniels is gonna last in the NFL with the Dolphins, but let's see. But yeah, no, I think that would be my final thoughts on everything. Is everything I've said is like just Ohio State. If you do that, and like I said, you can allocate the money to all your coaching staff, and like I said, you got to be willing to sacrifice because for these guys, it'd be a great way for this program to continue to succeed. It'd be a great way for us to continue to have elite coaches and develop and become a coaching factory like we are at NFL Factory. I mean, heck, you may have some of our coaches get hired by the NFL. Even our analysts might get hired by the NFL, for God's sakes. And guess what? We already know that everybody wants a job at Ohio State. So if you make these analyst jobs mean something, you're going to have more people, more coaches wanting to come and get these jobs. They already want to get these jobs already enough as it is. But becoming a coaching factory like you are a player factory for the NFL and really for college football, especially when it comes to the coaches, you're a coaching factory for college football and a coaching factory for the NFL. Everybody gonna want to come to you at that point.
It's just gonna make us more of a destination for years and years. So,
and it's gonna keep us stable for years and years as long as we continue doing the structure that we have. That's all it takes. Mika, you got any final thoughts?
No, I'm good. I mean, I think Kyle Whittingham was the right person to right the ship with the rivalry, and I hate that I don't hate it, but I'm sure I'll learn to hate it.
Hey, I mean, I don't think it's gonna change much with Michigan. Like, it's basically like, it's basically a PR move to try to. And look, it's a good thing because nobody hates them. But your program has like, as long as War Manual's there, no one is gonna change.
Yep.
No one's gonna change. And I mean, it's true. We do like our offensive linemen on this team are capable. The problem is they've regressed. So like, if they could just get better, which is why I'm saying do what you do with the offensive line. Like I said, you got a full offensive line coaching staff. And look, these guys can help Tyler Bowen with some stuff that these offensive linemen might be struggling with. So
Tyler Bowen needs to step up.
But that's also the point of you having these other assistants with him as well, because they can teach him what he's doing wrong and show him what to coach on and show him how to get them. Because the thing about LaCharles and Sam is they know how to teach these guys about their hand placement, how to block, like how to do certain things with their hands and their feet. So, like, they'll teach them and show them, especially LaCharles, because he's done it. So,
agreed.
So, yeah, no, I think that's it for the show, guys. Thank you for 86 of you tuning in. We've been on for almost 2 hours. It's been an hour and 46, going on an hour and 47. It
Yeah,
ran that long.
thanks,
Guys,
guys.
yeah,
Check
thanks.
check
Go.
our recruiting page over on Patreon. We're building a database over there. I've put a lot of work into it. I'd like to hear you guys' feedback and check us out over on Patreon. Check out the merch. Like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff. You know what to do, and have a good night.
And not only that, but make sure you guys help us get to 200 members on Patreon so we can get Buck Vader's biggest, juiciest secret. Because he said it, if we get to 200, he is going to explain. He's going to give us all the scoops, all of it. And more importantly than that, you guys, we're going to have a watch along with Eric and them, I think tonight, right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, so we get to see you guys later. Have a great night and happy New Year's to all of you. Thank you for being here on New Year's Eve. We're gonna end this show like we always do, Mika. OH.
IO.
Go Bucks.
And Scum still sucks.
Scum still sucks. Night, ladies and gentlemen.
Night, everybody.